Becoming a freelance programmer is everyone's dream as it brings a lot of independence and flexibility in terms of how you want to work and whom you want to work with. But the journey towards becoming a successful freelancer is not so easy if you're not born with some talent or good fortune. There are no hard and fast rules as to how you can become a freelance programmer, but let me lay down some rules which might give you an edge over somebody else who is aspiring to be a freelance programmer. Rule number one, 9 to 5 job rule. Freelancing world is a tough world and needs a lot of sacrifice before you start receiving some kind of success. If you're not ready yet mentally, then stick with your 9 to 5 day job and work hard towards the night and build a portfolio. Make sure not to get into any kind of conflict of interest with your current employer. Rule number two, persistence is the key to success. This rule is applicable in any walk of life and even applies better for freelancing. Never give up until you crack that first project. Don't set your expectations too high until you build a good reputation. My first gig was for $100 and it took me like a week to complete. Rule number three, zero loans and EMIs. Financial worries are something which should have lower precedence over anything during the beginning of your freelancing career. So it's better to free yourself of EMIs, credit card expenses, and the likes, and keep a lean budget for yourself until you start seeing some revenue. Rule number four, diversify your job search portals. Most of the freelancing portals are client friendly for obvious reasons because they are the ones who generate revenue for the portal. Paying clients are more valuable to these portals than freelancers. You are going to the bad books of maybe just one client is enough for you to get expelled or suspended from these portals. During my early days as a freelancer, I used to only rely on a portal named Elance, now called Upwork, where most of my clientele used to be. But then couple of clients raised some complaints against my account because I had some kind of conflict with those clients. During the early days of freelancing, I used to do some kind of free work if there were some changes in the scope in midway of a project. But then after building some kind of a reputation, I had stopped giving any free services, which pissed off some clients. So it's better to diversify your job search portals. Also use your LinkedIn effectively as it can become a major source for job creation. Rule number five, learn project management skills. Project management skills help in clearly defining the roadmap to the client about the project. This in turn helps convincing the clients better as this gives a sense that things are in control. So, in your proposals, don't shy away from showing off some project management skills like including milestones of deliverables, resource planning, dependencies and risk, etc. Rule number six, opt for medical insurance. Chances of you falling sick are high because of long working hours or eating habits, mostly lifestyle changes being a freelancer. It's better to opt for a medical insurance which also covers outpatient expenses. Rule number seven, know the basics of accounting and finance for small businesses. Small business taxation fall under a different slab, at least in India. This is because of higher risk compared to a regular employee who has better benefits and job safety. Freelance and small businesses are burdened with lesser tax. So it's better that you understand how the taxation for small businesses and freelancers work. Rule number eight, take the help of an expert accountant. You don't want to be on the wrong side of the law when it comes to taxation. Being a freelancer, it becomes really difficult to take care of all things related to the business. It's better to delegate compliance related stuff to the experts to avoid all kinds of penalties and legal actions in the future. Rule number nine, target for hourly rate ones instead of fixed rate ones. It's easier to reduce conflict when it comes to hourly rate contracts instead of the fixed ones. You need to be really careful in breaking down the task from the requirement shared by the clients, getting a sign off on the scope, as well as creating estimates for the price. For smaller jobs, it's easier to do the estimation, but for larger projects, it becomes a little tedious as you need to identify the scope and arrive at the estimation. Given an option to work on hourly rate contracts, it's better to take that up. Rule number 10, be flexible in learning new skill sets. Freelancing might require multiple skill sets to complete a task. It can be anything starting from prototyping, UI UX, backend, or front end. So, if you are limited to just, let's say, one skill set out of all the required, then your chances of grabbing a project might be limited. So, bring your A game when it comes to learning new skills. Rule number 11, ace your communication and convincing skills. Communication skill is the biggest weapon when it comes to conquering the freelancing world. Whether it be verbal or written skills, you'll have to be on top of the game when it comes to bidding for a project, understanding requirements from the client, or retaining even the existing clients. Keep learning effective communication skills along with improving your technical skills. Rule number 12, follow a healthy lifestyle. Long working hours, unplanned work, flexibility of working late at night, waking up early, all of this is going to put a lot of stress on your health. So keep a good habit by getting enough sleep, waking up early, getting enough sunlight, working out regularly, and keeping a check on your coffee and junk food. Now let's talk about some of the pros and cons of becoming a freelance programmer. Let's start with some pros to make you feel better. You will get to work on flexible timings as per your convenience as long as you're completing the project on time. You're open to opportunities to work on multiple contracts at the same time and you will rarely have any conflict of interest. Opportunities of making much more revenue than what a regular employment can offer. You report to yourself and plan your work as per your availability. You don't have to worry about the corporate ladder, appraisal cycles, promotions, etc. You can choose to work from anywhere, including a nice beach place, as long as the internet connectivity is good. Continuous learning helps you in keeping yourself as a top talent in the market, which might even help you to move back to the corporate world in the long run as a technology specialist, as a director of technology, or even a CTO. Now let's look at some of the cons which are pretty important before you make that decision of becoming a freelancer. You are always on tight deadline if you have taken up multiple projects at the same time. This will lead to poor work-life balance. As the market is lucrative, it's always difficult to say no to incoming new projects when you are already in the middle of executing one. Risk of losing clients is high, as small mistakes won't be tolerated by clients mostly. As you are not working with the team, you will start feeling a little lonely with no technical support around. You will end up having health issues if you are not taking care of yourself properly. Obesity, vitamin D and K deficiency, high blood pressure are some common side effects of bad lifestyle. Working for long hours at night. Learning curve is huge as you need to be updated with all the latest tech changes which keep happening on a regular basis. You will not always be able to command a constant revenue on a monthly basis. It will totally depend on upon the availability of the project or long running contracts, etc. So here is a quick checklist on what all you need to do before setting on the path of a freelancer journey. Number 1, self-branding. Create a good LinkedIn profile and a portfolio website showing off your skills, portfolio, etc. Number 2, portfolio template. Create a portfolio template highlighting your technical skills and previous work experiences. Number 3, bidding proposal template. Create a proposal template both for your fixed rate and hourly rate project bidding process. Number 4, recommendations. Ask for recommendation from your previous employer, fellow programmers, and friends. Number 5, Github projects. Keep some public projects showing off your technical skills relevant to your skills up on the GitHub platform. Number 6, health insurance. Very important. Apply for a health insurance which will cover your basic health needs, including outpatient expenses. So that's all I have for this episode on how to become a successful freelance programmer. Feel free to share your thoughts and feedback through the comment section. Also, please consider liking and subscribing to this channel. That will mean a lot. I will come back soon with some new episodes. Until then, it's bye from me.